Like, who the f would want to work with this retard? Seriously. Minorities shouldn't have rights. Based position. I'm for it. Oh my god, no way! Look, they're doing the thing! Do these people know what a fact is? Oh my god, man. Oh my god, who cares?
This whole thing has just made me realize that, like, white people are not serious. Yes, white supremacy is actually at the root of everything.
Strategically going after Professor Flowers was the first time I sensed vibes from him.
Also, the idea that these disgusting online freaks are worth nothing. Like, honestly, how many videos have we had of some black bread tuber complaining about the whites in breadtube? This must be like the 5th or 6th video about it at this point. Like, dude, what the fuck? Right, so we got this video here. This is called The White Leftist Industrial Complex, okay? I've seen quite a few videos like this. Now, I'll be honest with you, there is one point I've seen a clip of that from the outside looking in looked pretty racist, but we'll see what happens, okay? We'll see what happens. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Content warning, racism, transphobia, misogynoir used unironically, and a whole lot of caucasity. I'm going to start a video, okay? It's going to be called The Problem with the Blacks, all right? The Problem with the Blacks. And then it's going to say at the bottom a whole lot of, you know, I can't say because of TOS, sadly, but you know what I mean? That's what we're going to do next time, all right? Anyway, let's continue. Here we go. I can't believe I'm watching this.
To some, the title of this video will be seen as hyperbolic. I and many other people of color and queer folks don't see it that way, due to our understanding of leftism with the intersectional lens.
Okay. Let's go. We're 20 seconds in. We're 20 seconds in and we're already getting some banging memes in there.
Leftism that isn't based on intersectionality is upholding white supremacy. It ignores the BIPOC contributions such as microaggression coined by Chester Pierce in 1970.
I knew this was going to be a soy nod fucking fiasco. I knew this was going to be soy nods left, right and centre, I could tell. We're already 30 seconds in. Come on.
To intersectionality from Kimberly William Crenshaw in 1989. So much of American leftism is based on the collective fight against systematic racism that Black, Indigenous, Latino, and others have been on the front lines of.
Yo!
Knowing who Angela Davis...
Wait, hang on a second. First of all, are they... Wait, hang on.
Of American leftism is based on the collective fight against systematic racism that Black...
Is Lona Box white? I thought he was of like Middle Eastern descent, and he doesn't. I mean, listen, I'll be honest with you. If I ran into a guy like this in a bar, you know, I would probably be able to clock that he's like not, you know, like white, you know. Do you know what I mean? Like you could probably be able to tell, right? But my point is like it feels weird to like refer to Lona Box as a white leftist because I don't know if like even he's white presenting. I don't know if he himself sees himself as white, but I don't know either way.
Black, Indigenous, Latino, and others have been on the front lines of. Knowing who Angela...
Also, this is Shark Zero, right? That's this guy's name. This guy's black. This guy's black. But spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. They make some comments about this fella later, which we'll look at.
Davis is, but not reading or applying her calls to be anti-racist is grifting at best. Before I go further, let's break down what the white leftist industrial complex looks like. The white leftist industrial complex consists of varying traits, behaviors, and dog whistles. Commonly, you'd see them feeling vindicated when pushing misinformation, attacking the very black and queer people that correct their colonizer approach, having an inflated ego when discussing BIPOC issues, focusing more on appearing to be correct than actually having a true understanding, blindly pushing right-wing narratives in terms like woke scold and identity politics.
Okay. Yeah, this obviously. Do you know what I was thinking when I woke up this morning, right? When I woke up this morning, I thought, do you know what we really need? We need Another video from a black leftist complaining about whites. That's what we need. That's what we. I tell you what, we're missing out on is some black leftist moaning about whites. I've not. It's been too long, if anything. I tell you what.
It's more common than not for them to lack tangible connections with the communities they state to advocate for. Usually only surrounding themselves with other white people, but some might have their token BIPOC that they weaponize against people of color. If I were to limit my description...
Everyone's got a token BIPOC they weaponize. Yeah, mine's called Kwame. He's locked up. He's locked up in the cupboard. I've not had to use him recently. Okay, I've used him before when I've been off camera, but I've not had to... Kwame's locked in the cupboard. If I need to get some points and BIPOC points, I'll just bring him out on his leash, on his chain. Whip marks all up his back, obviously chained up, you know.
Description to a handful of words and phrases. I'd say arrogant, cognitive dissonance, insufficient contrition, argumentative, ruthless, and self-serving. This can make doing work with them very difficult with their consistent struggles with allyship, lacking proper etiquette in BIPOC-led spaces.
Like, who the fuck would want to work with this retard? Seriously. Like, who out there is going to watch this that isn't already on board and go, yeah, you sound great to work with? Like, who's going to be like, yeah, I want to spend effort and time to work with you. You sound fucking insufferable to work with and engage with on any angle. It sounds like it would be an endless nightmare of identity politics, woke skull bullshit. And before you say, oh, that's a right-wing term, I don't care. Good. I'm a right-winger now. Based. Yes, fuck you. Okay? Minorities shouldn't have rights. Based position. I'm for it. You're making me want to put in place laws that restrict the rights of minorities because of how fucking garbage your video is. Okay? That's where I am now. It's your fault. Fuck me. This shit's so
wanting
annoying.
To be the loudest in the room. Surely in 2023, we should be able to expect so much more from our cis and white queer leftists. I and others are done entertaining their strawmans and moving forward spending our time on genuine leftist causes like combating Cop City, anti-trans bills, and the demonization of woke. I can keep this going all day, but let's get into this caucasity. Before I dive in, I need to define some terms.
Okay, this feels unfair because there is obviously a couple of words you could use to describe the opposite of caucasity, but I think that would be a problem, wouldn't it?
Terms and give some context for the foolishness you'll hear. Woke school, genderqueer, and identity politics, shortened to ITPOL, are dog whistles that they enjoy weaponizing against marginalized people. Woke school being an offshoot of woke used disingenuously by right-wingers. Like Erykah Badu said, it's just another way to say black or thug, let alone woke being AAVE. Genderqueer is a word that has different meanings person to person. But the way I see it used is equivalent to a queer version of woke school. Lastly, ITPOL, or better known as identity politics, is the most mask-off racist term used by these flock.
Identity politics is a racist term. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. The levels we're getting to now. Identity politics is now a racist term. Dude, what the actual fuck? Oh... Why am I watching this, man? Is this what I've come to now? Is that all there is that's left? Yeah, just when you think it can't get any more insane. It's only like 47 minutes long.
The civil rights movement is identity politics. Fighting for the right for gay marriage in 2015 is identity politics. The fight for Roe v. Wade is identity politics.
Yeah, this is super disingenuous, right? This is super disingenuous. So they're going like, oh yeah, all these good things that happened, that's identity politics, actually. Like, okay, I agree that like the term identity politics has changed its meaning. It used to have like a more, I don't know, it used to mean like you vote for a person that shares your identity, or you politically align with people who share identity because you think it's going to help you out in some way, right? But I think now, like, it has changed its meaning and its usage. And to a lot of people, I think it just means that identity politics is when you excessively focus on elements of your identity when considering and looking at, like, you know, your kind of political goals or political views or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if that's even like the best definition for it, but I think this person is being very cringe in saying like, oh, well, actually, these are good things and it's identity politics, you know? The drawing's hideous. All right, listen. You don't have to go at the artwork. Come on. I don't know much about the art. It looks, yeah, I don't really have much opinions on it. I mean, the colouring of the line's pretty well, to be fair. You know, I can't see any going over the line.
Trans people fighting to combat the disgusting reality of our high murder rate is identity politics.
Wait, what?
Black trans people fighting to combat the disgusting reality of our high murder rate is
Black trans people trying to discuss... I mean, that expression I would consider to be like a form of identity politics, funnily enough. Black trans people trying to fight a disgustingly high murder rate. Aren't all of us trying to fight, like, you know, high murder rates where they exist? What's it got to do with race? We don't want high murder rates, okay? Hey, news to black trans people. The cis whites don't want high murder rates either. We think it's all bad. Why is it just black trans people that got to be worried about that? Fuck me. Unbelievable.
Is identity politics. We don't have to be class reductionist to expect change that lacks the intersection of race, gender, and sexual orientation.
Oh, this is gonna be great. You just got here, are we spreading misinfo? Yeah, I'm doing gay ops on Tender Queers by encouraging my I'm encouraging my followers to make pic crew accounts and infiltrate Tender Queer Twitter.
Okay, I know what's going to happen here. What's funny about this? This is actually a good thing, a good and funny thing Keffals did, okay? It's actually a good and funny thing that Keffals did. So what this means, okay, I'll explain what this means if they don't go into it. Maybe they will. Keffals was telling a community to set up fake accounts of like woke left accounts to do gay ops and like troll the wokes on Twitter, okay? It was a good meme, and it was funny. Now, the funny thing with this is I think there's definitely stuff Keffals has done which is worthy of criticism, okay? Right? Why is it this? Like, imagine this is your opening gambit in the criticism, okay? This is your opening gambit, is talking about some stupid gay Twitter shit. Like, this is what you're concerned about in all of this. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is like a genuine criticism. Your priorities are a bit off there, but we'll see. Maybe they'll get to some of the other stuff. We'll wait and see.
Because once they catch wind of the plan that we're using pic crews to infiltrate Tenderqueer Twitter, they're going to all become incredibly suspicious of pic crews and they will eat each other alive. Does it matter?
Oh my god, no way! Look, they're doing the thing! They're doing the thing! I'm pretty sure I mocked in one video I did about this whole situation. This was during Black History Month. They're doing the meme. Oh my god, this person is fucking pathetic. It's unreal. Imagine unironically putting that on the screen. What's funny about this clip, though, in terms of the Keffals side of things, is... hasn't this been, like, retcon now? Correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding is Keffals doesn't stand by all the shit she was doing, and I think it's been attributed to, like, drug abuse and stuff. So that kind of makes it extra funny, if that's true. Yeah, true. Idpol is a right-wing dog whistle, and then unironically puts on the screen, this was during Black History Month. You're wrong, mate. Everyone knows racism is worse when done during February, okay?
Which pic crew? No, just use a random one. But the more diverse, the better. Like, make it like a black butch lesbian with like... I don't know.
Now that we're caught up on terms, let's dive into this complex. Given our current events with all the anti-trans bills, and even Joe Biden failing trans people, I felt it was only right to first cover the white queer community. When I say the white queer community, I'm talking about a very specific group of white queer people. Typically, these are queer people who are in mostly white spaces and lack the interest of changing that. They may know of intersectionality, possibly sharing infographics about them. The problem lies with them not applying intersectionality to their leftism. Assuming that being queer...
So guys, I don't know if you're aware of this, right? I don't know if you're aware of this. What intersectionality actually means is if you're black, trans, gay, whoever's got the most ones, they're just correct and everyone else is wrong, okay? And you need to listen to them. That's what intersectionality means, okay? If anyone asks you. If you see some, listen, if you see some little black fella or whatever you want to call him, see some little black person in a wheelchair coming up to you, right? And they look a bit gender non-specific and you're like, oh, I can't tell what's going on. What are they doing? They're wheeling themselves up to you. Just listen to them and agree with them. That's the best thing you can do because they're obviously like some flavor of disabled. They're obviously black. There's some flavor of trans. Just listen to them and just take on board what they say and don't disagree or anything like that, okay? That's what true intersectionality looks like.
Means they don't have to talk about their white privilege, taking an all lives matter approach to trans issues as they continue to not acknowledge black and brown trans people. They use the trans murder rate to advocate for themselves, while they ignore the fact that over 3/4 of trans murders are black trans people.
Okay. 3/4 of black, how many is that? Like 3? Like how many black trans murders are we even talking about here? Like, has anyone got the statistics on this? Who killed them? Yeah, have we got any statistics? If we're gonna, I tell you what, if we're gonna look at the crime statistics of black trans people being murdered, I wonder if we can have a little look at the race of the people that are murdering them. Should we? Look, we're very focused on the race of the victim. Guys, we're very focused on the race of the victim. Perhaps we should spend a bit of time also talking about the race of the perpetrator of some of these crimes. What do you reckon? These people seem very concerned with making it all about race, okay? So listen, I'm on board with that. Let's also bring in analysis on the race of the perpetrator if you want to make it all about race. What do you reckon? Eh? How do you reckon they'd feel about that? How do you reckon they'd respond to that? What do you think? What do you reckon? What do you reckon they'd say to that? Oh man, it's too easy. It's too easy. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. What's this? 2022 has already seen at least 38 transgender people fatally shot or killed by the violent means. In 2021, the Human Rights Campaign tracked a record number of violent fatal incidents against transgender and gender non-conforming people, with 50 fatalities tracked. Okay, how much is that as a percentage? I don't know what all the percentages are. God, this is, I'm tearing up a bit at this. This is very tragic. Oh man, I'm struggling with my emotions, guys. It's just so sad to think of this. I can't believe these people are, it's so, I can't believe this happened. This has happened. God, I just can't, I can't bear the thought of it, guys. It's just, oh, God, I don't know what to say. I'm just going to quickly. Tragic, isn't it? Absolutely. This is such a tragic. How can this happen? What? Do something about this. Stop the trans genocide. Come on now. Stop. Enough. Is this not enough for people to take action? That's unbelievable. Come on. Okay, let's just. Oh man, God, I think I'm actually might. God, I don't know what I'm gonna. It's just so tragic, man. I just can't believe these people are getting murdered like this. It's just terrible, isn't it? Unbelievable. What do you reckon, chat? It's bad, isn't it? Tragic, tragedy. tragically struck down in their prime. Look at their faces. Look at their faces. These are the faces of the people that are getting murdered. It's disgusting.
Black trans people are already ignored by the media. We also have to overcome job discrimination, food insecurity, lack of housing, and overall, we're underserved. The overwhelming data has always been there, but the needed urgency still isn't there from cis and queer white people. We also notice the trans people of color they do embrace usually have to be cis-passing. Another hurdle is the weaponization of respectability politics against black trans people.
What's this? What this video seems like?
Black women are the most oppressed, my brother. Bottom of the bottom. Lowest of the low.
I agree with that.
It is hard out here for a sister. Our own black men don't even want us. They want Mexican and Asian and white women, my brother. And if they do want us, we have to be light-skinned or of a lighter shade to not only be accepted by our own kind, but to be accepted by society.
That is not objective.
You are lost, my brother. Listen, the light-skinned woman was created by them to divide black people, my brother.
Wow.
Yes, think about it, King. Light skin equals yellow bone. Bone rhymes with clone. They cloned our people into a lighter shade so that they can get rid of the darker ones, my niggas. Light-skinned people are basically white people, and that's why everybody wants them with their light-skin privilege. Yeah. Laugh, coon. Laugh at your own people, you Uncle Tom.
It's funny. Listen, there's something coming up in this video which is very similar to this. You may joke about it, but there's going to take a couple of turns, I think, where this new video we got, yeah. This is going to come true. Let's put it that way.
Make a joke out of us for all of your non-black followers. I will, because you woke people are a joke. You are fake woke, fake conscious, fake outraged, reaching for attention ass, weak ass, pro-black clowns. You're a joke. A joke. You're a
Yeah, it's
joke.
not funny. I agree.
And that goes to all you fake woke, pro-black Twitter hoes. Get a grip.
I mean, yeah, it's like it's not really comedy. That's just what it's like. That's just like true what it's like. That's just what it's like now. This is exactly what this video is.
Which is why it's still mostly black trans people forced to advocate for ourselves. The fact that, as of right now, there's been 2 black trans women murdered within the last 2 weeks.
Interesting. Okay, listen, what I will say is this. Interesting that we're using these 2 examples, isn't it? Let's put it that way. Let's leave it at that, okay? Let's just leave it at that, all right? Let's not go into it any further.
Yet the white trans community, along with the media, can't even muster a fraction of support or sense of urgency they give to our white counterparts. Have you ever thought of how many black trans folks we wouldn't have to bury if we had a collective understanding of intersectionality? It can't be mainly white trans people being celebrated, embraced, financially supported, and having access to success. It shouldn't take 10 black trans activists to equal out to 1 white trans public figure. Y'all aren't doing enough to uplift and empower us as the numbers show. There's much more I can say, but I'll save that for a future video. Having the context we need, let's jump into this queer caucasity. During Black History Month, 16-year-old Brianna Gay was fatally stabbed by 2 other minors. Kayleen, a fellow trans creator, made a very powerful video on Brianna.
Oh, are they going to do the... Oh, yeah, a 16-year-old trans kid was murdered, but could you not say rest in power because that's for the blacks? Is that really what we're going to do? Are we really going to go there? No way, come on. Come on.
Gay. This video gave the needed tone in the raw and real breakdown.
It's just grief like flayed and then displayed because I don't know how else to process. I don't know what else to do. Like, what are we supposed to say? What are we supposed to do? She was 16. She was 16, and for years she was being bullied and harassed.
No.
And then Brianna Gay was stabbed to death by 2 other kids in broad daylight. A whole life gone. Maybe not a perfect one, but it.
By the way, the Brianna Gay thing, I don't know whatever happened with that, but everyone was making a big, a lot of noise about it being a hate crime. But I don't know what actually came of that, and whether it was determined to be a hate crime or not, or whether it was just some other reason they were killed. It literally just all died down. Brianna Gay. So this was 2 months ago. 2-year-olds were remanded in custody after being charged with the murder. Remanded in detention accommodation. Okay, yeah, I mean, I can't really. Was it determined? What was it determined to be? Oh, on March 8th, 2023, an inquest into Gay's death was opened at Warrington Coroner's Court and subsequently adjourned until after the trial. A pre-inquest hearing is scheduled for the 17th of August. I guess that's not the hate crime part. So it looks like they were charged with murder. But I can't see anything about hate crime. Brianna Gay. Why do you want me to say her name so much? Is that the meme? Are you talking about the George Floydification of her? Is that the thing? You know, that's the meme I saw floating about. Who was it that said that? What's the guy's name? He does all the woke stuff. James Lindsay. James Lindsay talked about that, didn't he? In fact, what was funny about that, James Lindsay criticised what he called the George Floydification of the murder. But then he actually, he didn't apologise as such. But he actually, walked it back a bit. And I think he commented on the fact that he was being insensitive or something. I'm sure that he ended up, saying, oh, yeah, I was a bit insensitive to do that. But here's the point I was trying to make. Also, going back to the statistics, the murder statistics, right? 50 out of 350 million. So what's that as a percentage, and what's the trans percentage? Because off the top of my head, I would have thought that would be that the trans people are underrepresented in murder statistics. If that's the case. Well, yeah, but the thing is when you're looking at murder statistics, right? You need to figure out, right? Okay, and listen, if you need to know about this, ask the right, because they're experts at this. Okay, right? But you need to figure out what is the representation of the population in the statistic, because if the population is 50%. And they're murdered at a rate of 1%, it means they're underrepresented. But if they're at a rate of 50% and the murder rate they constitute 98%, then they're overrepresented. So that means there is a problem with them being targeted or affected or something like that. But if they're underrepresented, it means that there isn't a significant issue with this trans murder concept, because otherwise they'd be getting murdered at rates higher than the percentage of a population. But I don't know what the maths are, so can someone figure it out? And that's the other thing to bear in mind as well. Some of the murders will just be your standard murders that would have happened whether they're trans or not. And then there's obviously going to be a percentage of those murders that are actually hate crimes, and they're committed because they're trans. So, yeah, I don't know, man. That seems like quite a low number. And I'm not sure if it's statistically significant enough to make any big claims about, how trans people are murdered or something. Well, let's continue.
It was hers to live as she chose, or it should have been. I'm not going to make any claims about the motives of the killers. I'm not going to speculate on circumstances. Here are the facts.
Okay, well that's good because a lot of people were speculating.
Every day, anti-trans narratives are being pushed by the media by disgusting anti-trans activists like J.K. Rowling, Graham Linehan, Kelly J. Keane, Matt Walsh, and organizations like LGBT Alliance or Libs of TikTok. Constant articles, videos.
Okay, that's all right. Okay. Like, I would probably agree with the sentiment in terms of like, there's a lot of hateful trans stuff out there, but that isn't a fact. That's your opinion. Do these people know what a fact is? Oh my God, man. Jesus Christ. God, these people are so stupid. It's unbelievable.
Those tweets, books, press conferences, news segments saying trans people are bad, trans people are dangerous, trans people are predators, they're sick, disgusting fetishists that exist only to harm women and children, an existential threat to humanity deserving of nothing but disdain and disgust, inhuman, expendable, worthless.
Legal discrimination is a step towards state-mandated murder. Okay. Do you think affirmative action is a step towards state-mandated murder for white people? What do you reckon?
Even in the coverage about Brianna being violently murdered, she's shown the maximum amount of disrespect and discrimination. The Times, shortly after their original article that referred to Brianna as a teenage girl, updated it to remove the references to her being a girl, changing teenage girl to transgender teenager, and adding in her dead name. Brianna's family.
Okay, this is the cringiest shit ever, man. They're trying to do this. Oh my God. Oh God, I can't take it, man. I can't take it. Listen, it's sad. It's bad that happened, but can we just fucking lay off this bullshit, overwrought bullshit a little bit? Fuck me. The fucking music and everything, man. Like, give me a fucking break.
Statement.
Brianna was a much-loved daughter, granddaughter, and baby sister. She was a larger-than-life character who would leave a lasting impression on all that met her. Brianna was beautiful, witty, and hilarious. Brianna was strong, fearless, and one of a kind. The loss of her young life has left a massive hole in our family, and we know that the teachers and her friends who were involved in her life will feel the same.
Hashtag Say Your Name started trending due to mostly white queer people using.
Okay, so we're going from that to straight away complaining about people using the black term, say a name. Oh my God, man. Okay, look at this.
Hashtag Say Your Name started trending due to mostly white queer people using it for Brianna Gay. This phrase / hashtag was created by and for black women who are victims of.
So this is the person here, Soulbunni. And yeah, everything is as expected, not going to lie. Everything's in order here, let's put it that way. How do you see what happened to Breonna Taylor in 2020 and not know that what the Say Her Name is? Further making our point on the need for it to not be colonized. Do you know what's so great about these videos, right? They're literally absolutely hopeless. They're not going to get anywhere. They're not going to get any significant political power, okay? They're all locked away being bedblobs in their house, probably. So all you need to do is laugh at it and mock it, and you don't really need to worry about this becoming any meaningful political thing, really. And the pendulum swinging back, and the rightoids are making hay while the sun shines, which, you know, on the balance of things is probably good. You can just laugh and mock this kind of stuff because of how stupid it is. I mean, come on, how are you supposed to take this seriously? How are you supposed to take this shit seriously? Look at it. You're quibbling over a term, and you know, it's just so dumb. It's the dumbest shit you could imagine. Here's a challenge for you, right? Here's a challenge for you. A normie that isn't terminally online, right? Go and speak to them about this and see what they think. See if you can get more than 5 minutes without them looking at you with complete bemusement and saying, sorry, I've actually got other things to attend to that are important. I'll give it a go and see what happens. Because this is just absolutely hopeless. You're never going to get anywhere with this shit. This is just so stupid. These people are so terminally online and fucking ingratiated, they even fucking realise how retarded they're being by focusing on shit like this.
Police violence like Sandra Bland and Breonna Taylor. We requested them to use other hashtags like her name is Brianna. Black people that spoke up were being harassed, dogpiled, and called psyops by the racist white trans community. The harassment escalated when our trans comrade Jessie Gender used her platform to speak up. Like the Avengers, racist white trans people came together to silence Jessie, who was merely showcasing her intersectionality.
To silence Jessie? Like, okay.
Escalated when our trans
So can you show, okay, I would agree with that kind of sentiment if there was like an effort to get her deplatformed or something like that. But all I saw was, you know, criticism, maybe some of it was harsh. You know what I mean? But were they really trying to silence her?
Conrad Jessie Gender used her platform to speak up. Like the Avengers, racist white trans people came together to silence Jessie, who was merely showcasing her intersectionality. Jessie is the sweetest and most understanding person known to LeftTube. This is alarming to see so many from the queer community harass and uphold white supremacy in the name of what? White entitlement? It's a damn
white supremacy. What? Okay, wait, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. The Vaush fans went hard. Oh yeah, listen, look. We all know that there's certain like aspects of people's community that go too far. What is it? Jessie Gender put out a tweet and said, "I'm doing a video about Vaush," and they all started freaking out about it. And it's like the video's not even out yet. Who knows what she might say? Nice things, she might say bad things. Who fucking knows what she's gonna say, right? Probably to be fair, negative stuff, but nonetheless, people are like freaking out about it. And I'm sure there's people that went too hard and stuff like that. But it's just the framing of it as silencing that I find kind of cringe. Did Jessie lose her account? Did she take the video down? I don't know. It just seems like, at worst, like harsh disagreement or something like that. But yeah.
damn shame to have our most charitable comrades harassed out of their skin for standing up for black women. This can't keep happening. We as a community need to reflect and learn from these queer clan rallies.
It's basically just using the aesthetics of a foreign culture such that you can present yourself as sort of like someone who's cultured and expert on a culture that you're like not a part of. It really does boil down to like the like economics of it all, simply because it's like, you know, I'm going to talk about Ariana Grande because she's one of the biggest examples of someone who profits off of or otherwise gains social capital through the aesthetics of ethnic people. And when it came to like the inciting incident for all of this like streamer drama on my end, not drama, but you know, harassment campaign, I didn't even say the words cultural appropriation. I didn't even say the words white supremacy. And a bunch of white people just kind of read into like what was, you know, a tweet that I posted at like 9 p.m. on a Sunday while stoned out of my face. And they added all of this outrage.
Of course this person was stoned, obviously. God, all of these people are just drug-addled fucking losers, aren't they? Seriously. Fuck me. They're just drug-addled freaks, a lot of them.
And they projected all of this outrage onto me that I didn't have. Cultural appropriation comes down to the issue of economics, where it's who gets to profit off of these cultures and who does not. I'll start from like the very beginning. Back in August 2021, it was my nephew's birthday. We were in the second year of the pandemic. I was, you know, at my desk scrolling, and I was on urbanoutfitters.com. I saw this cookbook titled Dumplings and Noodles. It was about Asian like steamed buns and Asian noodles and all that, and I was like, oh, that's cool. It was like, oh, this is interesting, like maybe I can get an idea from it. But then I saw the author's name, Pippa Middlehurst. That doesn't sound like an Asian woman.
Oh my god, who fucking cares? Imagine this is your life, worrying about shit like this. Oh, I was gonna buy a noodle book, but some whites wrote it. Oh no. Listen, this was a massively cringe discourse at the time as well. They all freaked out because some noodle book was written by a white. Like, bro, who fucking cares? Are you serious? This obsession with race is, you know, let's just say, two sides of the same coin. Let's put it that way. Yeah, before I could buy this cookbook, I had to see what race the person was that wrote it before I could determine whether I wanted it or not.
That sounds like a white lady from Britain. So in that context, I was just kind of like, not again. Like, why is this such a common occurrence where I'll try to look for something like about Asian food and it's like these white people kind of like presenting their expertise. So me being me, like I just kind of took a screenshot and like a screenshot of the author and put it on my Twitter and kind of laughed at it. And then I went to bed. And I had a bunch of emails, like more than usual. And then there was one I remember that said, you're just jealous of white women because they're sexy. And I looked, and why would a white woman write a cookbook about dumplings and noodles?
Oh, it's this person. Yeah, it's the person that did the tweet. Yeah, I tell you what, you know, this definitely comes across as just joking about it, doesn't it? Yeah, this definitely comes across as just a meme. Why did a white woman write a cookbook about dumplings and noodles? I'm going to put a tweet out, right? I'm going to put a tweet out. And what it's going to be a book about architecture, okay? And it's going to be a black dude that's written it. I'm going to say, why did a black dude write a book about architecture? We'll see how that goes down amongst the wokies. What do you reckon? How do you think that'll go down? How do you think that will go down? Or maybe we shouldn't base this on race, and maybe we should just look at the expertise of the person that's doing it. Because guess what? Making dumplings and noodles is not to do with your fucking race. It's to do with training, right? And I've got to be real with you. If you gave me the choice, and it's like, right, this random Asian person has cooked some noodles, or Gordon Ramsay's cooked some noodles, right? Who the fuck do you think I'm going to pick? Obviously Gordon Ramsay, because he's a fucking professional chef. I'm going to be, he's the guy that's the expert in this because he knows about cooking and shit. It's just insane to me.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Hey, thanks for the 420.
Why would a woman talk about science? Historically,
I went down the racist route, but you could go down the sexism route too, absolutely.
Had got a lot of traction, and there were a lot of racist comments in the replies. This wasn't my first time waking up to find that I'd been harassed out of my skin. Had I known that my tweet had made it onto 4chan, I probably...
Okay, well, fellas, can we make it happen? Oh boy. It's cultural appropriation, we can make it happen. And then there's, for some reason, this it looks like it's in English, but it's a little bit it's kind of like written weird. I don't really understand it. Very strange. And then it says here, does anyone have a link to buy? Would post, but not sure how to delete all the tracking parameters. Me and girlfriend about to have some comfy noodles and dumplings.
Probably wouldn't have said anything. I just would have ignored it. Eventually, there were people just camped out on my Twitter feed, replying to anything I replied to, harassing my mutuals and my followers.
Yeah, this is such... Okay, listen, can we just be honest about something for a second, right? These people would do exactly the same thing with someone they perceive to be racist, okay? Now, does that justify the racist messages and whatever? You know. But the point is, the real point of this is everyone goes nuts on Twitter about the people that they don't like. You know, and I'm just like, yeah, Twitter fucking sucks. And the thing is I think I always will have more sympathy. I think there's people like this. This is a race baiting tweet that she's doing, right? And she's a public figure or whatever, right? This harassment thing's cringe. I feel sorry more so for the people that are just regular people on the internet that get an absolute fucking barrage of shit sent their way. You know, for an ill-considered tweet or perspective or something like that. But you bet your bottom dollar these same kinds of people would be freaking out if someone on, you know, did a similar thing for another racial makeup or something. So, yeah, I'm just like... Maybe don't say shit like that if you don't want to get a bunch of people shitting on you. I don't know what to tell you. You know?
And I was like, what the hell is going on? In the quote tweets, there were, you know, guys who were talking about, bringing a storm, talking about white genocide. This very, segregationist, basically neo-Nazi stuff. And...
Wait, okay. Right, let's just make it clear, okay? Let's make it clear. White genocide stuff, I disavow, obviously. But, you made a tweet asking why a white woman had written a book about noodles. That is also, maybe not as severe, but that is also a segregationist perspective. Am I fucking insane here or something? Does she not see, the fucking, you know, the fact that she is also contributing to the narrative of segregation by talking or questioning why a white woman would write a book about noodles.
That was super concerning. I logged off, and the next day I woke up to the author of the cookbook kind of trying to clap back at me for what I wrote about her. As the harassment kept escalating.
Jesus, I'm only laughing because how bad it is. Racist journo demolished. As much as these disgusting freaks will try and say otherwise, assessing someone's ability to do something on the basis of their race, yeah, that's called racism. That's called racism. That's an aspect of racism. You know, I think that for me, okay, my advice would be to not just assess people on their ability to do something on the basis of their race, and to look at their skill or expertise in a said task, because regardless of what someone's race is, you know, you can do a lot of different things because it isn't determined by race. But that's just me, okay? That's just me. That's just my personal perspective as someone who tries to not be, you know, racist against white people at least. But yeah, I don't know, man. I love the fact they show a quartering video as well.
I got more and more upset. I locked down my account for about a week. Like, the harassment was that bad. I was still getting emails. I was getting, like, comments, Facebook writers page. I was getting nasty DMs.
Are you saying if you had the option of a Chinese builder or a Polish builder, you wouldn't choose the Polish one? Depends what the materials are. If it's like, you know, bricks and stuff, you know, probably the Polish one. If it's those little bamboo, you know, the bamboo huts and that, yeah, probably the Chinese guy, right?
Welcome to Chud Nation.
Thank you for the sub, appreciate it. You got to find out what the materials are, what the job is, you know, things like that. One of those little, you know, in Japan, you had those little things that they survived, didn't they? I mean, you know, Japan and China, very similar, very similar. But you had those like little structures, and you see the pictures of the nukes gone off. Okay, and all the Japanese people are like, oh, they're fucking all crispy and that, right? But that thing is still standing, and you're like, how is that still standing? Like, that's insane. You know what I mean? You know the picture I mean? Everything is fucking burnt to a crisp. Okay, except for that structure. Like, it's crazy how that's still up. What the fuck? What do you mean? That's a thing. That is a thing that happened. I'm saying, you know, if it was a Japanese builder maybe that was going to build one of those, I'd be like, yeah, I'll go with you because you're clearly the expert. You know what's what, don't you?
The discourse reached like Jesse Single Twitter, it reached John Kay, it reached Barry Weiss, I was on the Daily Mail.
Good. I'm glad your stupid tweet where you were racist got so much attention. I think it's good. Okay? I'm glad. Because you would be celebrating this if the shoe was on the other foot. I'm certain of it.
Because I apparently said it's racist to eat noodles, which I obviously didn't. Russia Today covered the whole thing. The Babylon Bee covered it. The who's who of the far right transphobe Twitter. Obviously, it reached the white streamer corner of Twitter, where Vaush had started circulating this meme that said Pippa Middlehurst was actually an Asian adoptee, and that's why she was publishing this cookbook.
Wait, what?
These people had to make up lies to kind of paint this picture that I was just some racist Asian woman, saying that white people couldn't do this, white people can't do that. There was a lot of projection on me.
But your tweet said, why is a white woman written a book about noodle? I just don't understand what the point of the tweet was there. What the fuck? That's what you said. What do you mean? Look, I understand it's Twitter, okay, and it's different, but you know, you had more text. If you had another more, listen, if you had another more elaborate point to make, by all means make it. You had extra characters without even getting Twitter blue. Honestly, these people are unreal. They're unbelievable.
me, there was a lot of words being put in my mouth that I did not say and did not care to elaborate on.
It's very telling that the same white leftist that has a history of going after people of color joined the right-wing 4chan dogpile, pushing the same strawmans and reaches when Rosalind never said it was.
Okay, listen, if someone does something dumb and fucked up and you want to say that's wrong, it doesn't matter who else is calling them out, does it? What the fuck? It's like with the Jessica Unive thing. Yeah, Jessica Unive did some fucked up shit. I'm sure the righties are on a field day calling that person out. But, you know, they did something fucked up. So yeah, you're going to, aren't you? And I don't know if it makes any difference to anything. Yeah, I don't know what this meme about the adopted thing. I mean, if Vaush tweeted that out, you don't need to make shit up to criticize this person. This person is fucking nuts as it is. Oh shit, was she stoned? Oh fuck. Oh, okay. Yeah. Don't tweet and be stoned, okay?
Was racist to make dumplings.
I forgot I said that.
It's the fact that they had to lie on Rosalind to find a justification of the harassment going on. 4chan literally made her cookbook a #1 bestseller in Asian cooking on Amazon.
Keffals wasn't as big at the time, but she had also piled on. So Keffals was.
God, imagine these are the criticisms you're making.
Wasn't as big at the time.
Imagine these are the criticisms that you're making. Keffals just tweeting because dumplings and noodles are tasty. Yeah, this is 2021. Fuck me, man. Time flies. This is what you're gonna be critical of, is her quote tweeting this with that caption. I don't know, man. God, if this is the best they've got for what the white leftists are doing. Oh, the white leftists are quote tweeting me again. Oh no. Like I say, you know, if this person, I might even have more sympathy. I mean, they obviously were verified at the time, so presumably they're like some sort of public figure in some regard, I guess. But I'll always have like more sympathy if someone is just like a random person that gets into some Twitter storm. But if it's like someone who's got some public presence and is maybe a journalist or a commentator or something like that, yeah, I've done the. Sorry, I need to change the stream title. Oh, I did change the stream title. Yeah, I've done the monarchy stuff already. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. This is probably the least of the things you could talk about when it comes to Keffals.
But she had also piled on. So Keffals was like quote tweeted it at the end of everything, and I didn't know who she was. But about a year later, when I saw that Keffals had piled on to the original discourse, I was like, oh shit! Like now I know. Like I knew who she was by that point. And it was the first time I saw her tweet where she was just like, because noodles are tasty. I was just like, that's the whitest thing I've ever seen. Like, I can't believe this, like,
they just slip into it so easily, like slipping into a warm bath. It's just like that, you know?
Purported white leftist to like ratios transphobes or whatever also added on to this like 4chan harassment campaign of me. Like that's rich. So like I took a screenshot of it and I posted it simply with like the caption, quite interesting. And
quite interesting. What's this bit? Interesting. What's that bit about? Or is she trying to say it like how, you know, is she trying to write it how she might say it? Is that what it is? I don't really...
And somehow, like a day later, Keffals found it, and she quote tweeted me, and the harassment campaign amped up again.
The harassment campaign. Oh my God. Just turn off notifications on your tweet and I don't know, like, look, you're a public figure, okay? You're a public figure, right? Fucking get a grip and manage your fucking Twitter account like you should do, right? What is this fucking bullshit? Again, if you were some nobody, yeah, I'd be like, oh, that kind of sucks because you're obviously not going to know about this shit. But, like, you should know how to deal with this.
in her same, like, in the same thread where she quote tweets me, she's like, Rosalind is just doing this to, like, get attention because I have a much bigger account. Like, I don't see the problem with what I said. You know, and you're welcome. Rosalind is welcome to come on my stream and debate. You're setting me up and I'm not falling for it. And it was just like, she just proved my point in that entire, like, not exchange, but, like, in her quote tweet of me, she, like, weaponizes her white woman tears because she thinks I was trying to cancel her, even though I was just making a joke with my followers like I was with the original tweet. I was harassed, like, I had COVID that weekend, and I was just trying to get over COVID.
Hey,
but instead I had to deal with the mass harassment that she sent my way.
Unless I'm missing something here. Turn off notifications. Log off Twitter. Put your phone down. There we go. Dealt with. Like, what is the fuck? Why do people struggle with this so much? It is literally the tweet. It is the tweet.
Because she was the one who needed engagement. She was the one who needed to basically start this drama that I wasn't even intending to start. Like, I'm showing my followers, like, look at this white bitch. This is ridiculous.
Ah, glad to hear. Do you know what? Do you know what's so great? I'm glad to hear that, you know, applying the race before the insult is now allowed again. That's based. Hey, thanks for the 5 gifted. Honestly, it's just wild to me. Like, and the thing is as well, is bear in mind, like, yeah, Keffals is like quote tweeting. She is also fucking quote tweeting Keffals and having a go at Keffals. Like, what? Are you serious? Then you're going to act like the victim when you're getting into the fucking mud too. Give me a fucking break.
What's going on?
Like, what? What planet are you on? You're fucking getting into the mud too. So yeah, I've got very little sympathy for that. It's unbelievable. These people, they're like, oh no. It's, what is that thing? Of that woman chucking shit over the side of the wall. And then when shit starts coming back, they go, oh no, I'm being attacked. It's that meme all over again, isn't it?
And rather than just, like, leaving me alone, she relitigated that that harassment campaign. We've been dealing with these issues a decade, if not. Been a writer since, like, about 20. This wasn't the first time I've seen a white woman position herself as this expert on dumplings and noodles and trying to get all of this social capital and trying to build a platform on her so-called appreciation, quote-unquote, Asian culture. It's not about can white people do this, white people can't do that, or else they're racist. It's, oh, we don't want to listen to the critiques of any marginalized person or any racialized person because it makes me feel bad. And
your critique? What was your critique? Oh my God. Honestly. Oh my God. Your critique, from what I can tell, was, oh, this white person wrote a cookbook. Why is a white person writing a cookbook about noodles? Oh my God, man.
And you guys are questioning my moral integrity, and I don't like that. And I'm going to use all of the power that I have to silence.
Keffals also ran a blockchain on anyone that liked, retweeted, and commented on the harassment. This was the first wave when Black trans Twitter got blocked en masse, making her space more insular and white.
The other thing as well, what's so funny about this is, like, listen, content about Twitter is funny sometimes, but, like, it's like the serious, it's like the gravitas of talking about Twitter. And then she did a blockchain on the blacks. Okay, it was Slavery fucking 2, Electric Boogaloo. They got wiped out in the mass block, and then the space was white.
Again, another moment showing white queers upholding white supremacy and refusing to apply an intersectional lens. Rosalind was spot on when she said it's easier for white people to identify with a white woman making an Asian cookbook than people of color.
Like, the reason I love your idea about doing this video is because it's a group effort. Because it illustrates, like, that.
Hey, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it.
Logic, the most intersectional stream.
Very true. Yeah, I don't give a shit about intersectionality anymore, okay? All I care about is class. I'm a full-blown class reductionist, okay? That's it now. It's over. It's all over.
That pattern of what these white leftist streamers do, and how they you know, kind of weaponize their platform to just do racism on a daily basis for content. And it's like, if you like, especially with the white queers, it's really frustrating because white supremacy.
Chud Nation.
Do you know what I'm gonna do, right? Thank you for the sub. I'm gonna say white queers, but you know that's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Right? I'm gonna cut that off, and I'm gonna excise the white bit, and I'm just gonna say the queers. All right, that's what I'm gonna do. You know, I mean basically the same thing, but I'm just trying to save a bit of time. I'll just talk about the queers. All right, that's what I'll do. What's this? I tell you what. Unfortunately, Elon Musk has not been quite the free speech advocate that I was hoping, because if he was, I could have quote tweeted that with a single word. But unfortunately, got to be careful. Right, let's continue. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate it.
And queerphobia, transphobia,
Thanks for the
especially,
420.
like, it's all like intertwined,
Thanks
and
for the
they
bits.
don't understand this.
Use the English language in this interview. Cultural appropriation.
I don't know, man. I just look, like I say, I don't know about you, but I'm just glad. I can't wait to come to TwitchCon and then defend myself when I get attacked by a handicapped black queer woman.
Like, everything's intertwined. And white queers who are doing this, like,
let's go,
you know, doing racism for engagement bait, they don't understand how they're also shooting themselves in the foot. There was a part of me.
I love the idea that it's like they don't understand how they shoot themselves in the foot. Like, you put out a tweet complaining about a white person writing a cookbook for a noodle cookbook, and then you know clearly now 2 years later you're still fucking banging on about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, who shooting themselves in the foot again? Like, what? What do you mean? This whole video is shooting yourself in the foot. Honestly. Guys, come on. Why are you commenting on someone's hair? You're better than that. Come on now. Enough. Leave it out, all right?
That wanted to believe that, you know, self-proclaimed white leftists, like, understood what was happening and, like, what my issue was. But at the same time, it's like, this is what white people do. They're going to, you know, circle the wagons and protect their own and essentially protect themselves. I think because they are more, I think it's easier for them to identify with Pippa Middlehurst than it is to identify with, you know.
Okay. What? Okay. It's easy to identify with Pippa Middlehurst. But what did Pippa Middlehurst do? She wrote a fucking book about noodles, okay? You're the one that made it weird and made it about race for literally no fucking reason, okay? It's not identify more with Pippa Middlehurst, okay? It's that you're a fucking retard. And I thought what you did was retarded. I don't fucking, like, I don't care about Pippa. I don't even care about the book. I'm never going to fucking buy that book. It's not about race. I'm not looking at Pippa Middlehurst going, oh yeah, she's white, so I'm going to side with her because I can relate to her, right? If some white person wrote a fucking thing, like I joked about earlier, and it was like, oh, book about architecture. Why is this a black... I'd do the same thing. I'd be like, what the fuck? That's insane. Like, it's not about race. God, these people are so obsessed with race, they project that everyone else is as well. It's unbelievable. What's this? Okay.
You know, people like us. You know, I think a lot, like, you know, even in, like, progressive circles, I think racism is still kind of like a taboo topic for them, and it's there.
In progressive circles, discussions about racism have been the thing for literally years and years and years now. Forget even about history, like the past 5 years. After George Floyd as well, like what? This person is absolutely full of shit. What are they on about? Oh. The blurb on the back of the Pippa Middlehurst book reads, haha, Asians are dog shit at cooking dumplings and noodles. Allow a superior white woman to show you how it's done, Giga Chad. Okay.
They're very much like head in the sand. you know, like racism ended in the 90s kind of thing.
Progressives, what? That's like a conservative talking point, right? That's like a fucking conservative talking point. Progressives are endlessly talking about the issues with race and systemic racism, and there's been like white fragility and all this other shit about everyone. What planet is this person on?
Disappointing that despite everything that happened, like with the George Floyd protest, everything that happened with like hashtag Stop Asian Hate, like they still could not fathom why I would be making fun of a white woman who wrote a book about Asian dumplings and noodles. Okay,
wait, what the absolute fuck has George Floyd got to do with your I don't even understand what that means. I thought she was taking it into account, but she is. But then she's saying it's like, oh, well, you watched George Floyd get murdered by a police officer and you can't understand why I'm making fun of this white woman for writing a noodle book. Okay, honestly, I am fucking... This is insanity. This analysis is just insane. The ravings of some dumb fucking woke people or whatever, you know? Jesus Christ, man. Black Bunny's just sawing on along.
All of these white people, and you know, even some Asian people, were basically accusing me of attacking this innocent white woman.
Money off depressed people.
She's right, guys. Wrap it up. Racism is still around. This woman is proved.
Thank you for the 420. Let's go.
Why's it got to be about race? Sounds like typical white fragility to me.
Honestly, I'm just so done with all this race shit, I'm telling you. Why should I care? I'm white.
Who was just appreciating the culture. And it's like, y'all, like these white people love this culture that we create. This culture, like these ethnic foods, these, you know, what television shows and movies, they love the aesthetic. They love the products that we put out, but if it were up to them, they would rather be the ones who are kind of like gatekeeping these cultures and presenting them in a way that's palatable for their like white friends, for their white audiences. They want to be...
Honestly, trans people and minorities have put me off all this stuff. It's true. I'm bored of talking about gender because of all that shit. I'm bored of talking about race because of all this shit. You know, what other social issue am I supposed to care about? What else is left? Animal rights? I don't fucking care about that. Anyway. Is this it? Is this the end? Is this the end?
Be the ones gaining the social capital. And it's crazy because, you know, these white leftists are supposedly anti-capitalist, but they don't and they can't see the issue that I was like kind of pointing out with my very unserious tweet. At the end of the day, it is a very like ego-based reaction for them to be like, oh, so white people can't cook noodles? They're so quick to this like knee-jerk reaction, this like defensive reaction.
What's this? 2020 hate crime statistics. Interesting. What is this? Why are you linking me this? Come on now. Stop linking me weird crime statistics, okay?
It speaks volumes about their own principles and morals, where it's more important for them to, you know, get their jokes in. It's more important for them to defend their right to be Asian food enjoyers or Asian food appreciators or whatever. I think what
never
bothers
eaten
me
Asian
the most
food
is
again.
that this one, or maybe two if they're disabled, this like one marginalization means that they're...
By the way, this dumb bitch is fucking stupid, okay? The reason that people are more concerned about getting their jokes in and this shit is because we've just had a torrent of fucking stupid progressive shit for years now, okay? People are bored. People are just bored of these endless trite progressive sentiments being expressed. So yeah, people like to joke and meme now, okay?
They're like completely infallible to any critique. it means they think only white people can be queer. Only white people can be disabled. Like I've seen.
I mean, honestly,
Nick
not only
Frost
think.
look like bitch.
Thank you very much for the bits. I not only think that minorities can be disabled, I also support that. I also support that idea, if anything. So,
So much of that on Twitter where it's like, how can I be racist? I'm literally queer. It shows like this fundamental misunderstanding.
How can I be racist? I'm literally queer. What? Look, as I'll always say, there's probably some crazy people. There's probably some crazy people with some insane takes that say dumb shit like that, certainly. But come on. I mean, you have to be a total retard to be queer and you can't be racist. I don't know. This is like this feels a bit like progressive stack type of shit. Do you know what? Right? The anti-SJWs were right about some of this stuff, okay? Oh.
Understanding of like intersectionality, where if you're marginalized, it like gives you a pass or something. It's like a sticker that says like, I'm perfect. I'm oppressed, therefore I'm perfect. It's like they're using it as like a badge to say,
Says you!
Oh, I'm progressive. Like my marginalization means I'm progressive and I can't be racist, and it means I'm perfect.
Also, how much of this dumb video is this fucking stupid bint talking? Seriously, like what the fuck? This has just evolved into, oh, let's talk about the noodle racism incident from 2021. Oh my god, we got baited. We got baited, guys. We got baited into looking at this shit.
And it means that I'm the most important person in the room because I'm so marginalized. And like that, again, like it's like this white need, like this need to be the one voice in the room, or to be the voice in the room, or to be the most right. It fails to account for, racialized people who are also queer, who are also disabled, who are otherwise marginalized in different ways. And a lot of it is like, so much of it feels like they're just trying to avoid any opportunity to do any self-reflection. If you understand that you're marginalized by your queerness, by your disability, you understand, like you have to understand that all of these oppressive systems are rooted in white supremacy. And if you're not willing to reckon with white supremacy, you're not actually for liberation. What you're for is assimilating into the power structure that keeps racialized people at the bottom.
The avoidance of reflecting on their whiteness within the queer community is one of the biggest issues in our community. It's shown a lot of times when they can't hide behind their queerness to trans people of color. That's when you'll start hearing identity politics, woke scold, and oppression Olympics. That's when they run blockchains on intersectional posts to maintain their narrative and pedestal they place themselves on. You can say a lot of white queers have a bad case of main character syndrome. While we're still here discussing the white queer community, I felt it was proper to end it off discussing this clip that I consider bad white queer literacy.
Yeah, the Hassan raid for a charity stream makes it earn so much more money too. It's such a valuable gift.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. It sucks, the response to the charity stream was actually very negative, which was crazy to me. There was a lot of trans people who were trying to turn it into into a bad thing, which was
for what?
What is this?
They were trying to say that it was entirely performative and I should have raised money to directly put into the PayPal accounts of black trans women. I'm not joking, this was an actual thing.
I mean,
people were mad about.
If you did go down that road, I can see a lot of people getting really mad and being like, well, are you accountable? Do you have the receipts? Did every single person get
Yeah, listen, I gotta be honest with you. I'm not gonna I don't think we should be trusting Keffals with that sort of shit, right? Oh.
I'm the best at baiting a masturbator, if you will. Now tartan OnlyFans Nick Frost looking tall glass of water.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, don't see eye to eye with a lot of these lefties anymore, but they're white. Well, Lance is part indigenous, I think, but Part of him's white at least, so I've got to defend him on that basis, if nothing else.
How much money? How did you decide who gets it and who doesn't? You know, not to mention, like, if you want to use Tiltify, I think is the name of it, for raising money.
Yeah, it's like I didn't have access to the money, and also if I raised $200,000 on my own, and I would not only have to pay taxes, but I feel like they would be even more mad if I was like, hello, white trans woman here. It is time for me to decide which black trans women are worthy of this money I raised on your behalf. I am a savior of the black trans community. No, they would hate me for that. They wouldn't like that. They don't want that.
In reality, black trans women that are being murdered at staggering rates don't give a damn.
Staggering rates? Where are these staggering rates? What are the statistics again? Where are these staggering rates? It was like, what, 50 in 2021? Is that a staggering rate? They're just making that shit. This is just not true. That trans people are getting murdered at staggering rates. Unless there's some statistic I'm missing, but those are statistics from the crime thingy. It's just made up. They're just making it up. They just want to sound... You know, they probably see one trans person and hear about them getting murdered on Twitter and they go, oh my God, this is happening so much. Is it white people killing them? Listen, we've already done this meme, okay? We've already done this meme.
What some random white person on Twitter is saying. We lack funding and support, period. Many of us either don't have Twitter, let alone enough reach to be heard. This clip also...
Gimme! Come on, where's the donos? Gimme! Let's go!
Showed me that Keffals isn't in community with black trans folks. Displaying how she cares more about how she appears than helping BIPOC trans people she states to be the CEO of.
White leftists are not our allies. They are not our accomplices. They are...
Okay, good. Yes, I'm not... I mean, you know, I wouldn't call myself a white leftist anymore anyway. I'm an English racist and proud, but nonetheless, I'm not fucking... You know, these people are like... They fucking act like you're such a bad person, and then they go, well, you're not alright. Good. Fuck off then. I don't care about your fucking plight or whatever it is. Anyway, isn't this person a journalist or something? Do you know what I mean? What are they facing? What issues are they facing? Didn't they work for Vice? I don't know. Maybe they are facing some issues if so. But I'm sure I remember they worked for Vice or something. But yeah, I don't actually know. I don't want to be allies with any of these freaks, okay? That shit is so done. I'm an ally to myself in my own pocket, okay? That's what I'm an ally to.
They are not for liberation. They are for their own profit and...
Yes, true! I'm for the profit of me and my fellow people, okay? That's it.
For, you know, building their own social capital and positioning themselves
true.
As the experts, as the, you know... They're, you know, like, this whole thing has just made me realize that, like, white people are not serious.
What? What the fuck? White people are not serious. They could just say this shit and it doesn't even click with them for a second of, hang on a minute, I'm basing an opinion on an entire group of people based on their race. They don't even take a step back and go, hang on a minute. I don't know, man. This is fucking insane.
The only thing they're serious about is this, like, individualist need to be visible, basically. To be the funniest in the room, to be the most, you know, progressive in the room. It just kind of made me realize that this is just, like, a facade to them. This is just a game. They have no, like, actual stakes in the game. Like,
No, I don't. I've got no stakes in the game whatsoever. What happens to minorities has got no impact on me whatsoever. So as far as I'm concerned, the state or whatever can do whatever they want. I literally don't care anymore, okay? There could be a full-blown genocide, which I would disavow, of any minority group, and it would have zero impact on my life. It wouldn't affect me whatsoever. Because I'm white! Because I'm white, and I'm straight, and I'm cis. So yeah, I don't care anymore. Good luck to you. Good luck out there, okay? But if you break the law in defense of your life, I will report you to the police. I will report you to the authorities, okay?
Well, it's basically like... This is like... The idea of, like, liberation is not... is not something that
I don't want you to be liberated. I want you to be suppressed, okay?
they're really thinking
Fuck me.
of. They're basically just treating this like as a sport or something like.
Yeah, I've got a new sport. I've got a new sport in mind as well, okay? Who's seen the film Running Man before? Has anyone seen that movie before? Who's seen the film Running Man? Got a couple of ideas around that, all right?
That. Once their feelings are hurt, like like once
Let's just say it's not going to be called Running Man. Let's put it that way, all right? Let's just say it's not going to be called Running Man.
Get their feelings hurt, they will revert to their whiteness, like in the snap of a finger. Like, and like, God forbid, like I show a bit of vulnerability and like show my emotions about everything.
Oh, this is fucking
and,
long, man.
Like when it comes to like when it comes to like women of color, like pointing out anything that's wrong with the world, we're always angry. We're always like hysterical. We're always like irrational. And especially when it comes to like making fun of white women, like it's like we've committed this like this cardinal sin. Like do
you know what else is happening in this video too? They're doing the classic thing. They're doing the classic thing. Yeah. But they're doing the classic thing where if you just put white in front of it, it makes it okay, right? So if I want to have a go at a trans person, If I want to have a go at a woman, If I want to have a go at a homosexual, But guess what? Put white in front of it, and you're good to go. You're good to go. No problems at all. Say whatever the fuck you want. You're good to go, all right?
don't make fun of white women. Like you're gonna make us look bad. And it's like I don't care. Like
what inspired this segment was me watching FD's video that had a segment on online figures cancellations. See Merrick go into depth about why she was previously cancelled while completely leaving out the biggest one. She constantly ran defense for her now racist ex-boyfriend SDL and joined in on the dog pal on Professor Flowers and Cat Pie.
I gotta be honest, those SDL messages are one of the funniest things he ever did.
She also went after me for my first video essay that included her ex's racist statements. My video also breaks down her week 13-15 arguments, and she ignores that arrests aren't convictions. She played out the white tears and expected me to delete my first video. At this time, I was a nobody with only 500 subs. What does it mean when black people get attacked and dogpiled for correcting white people's advocacy for us? Can you see how that can hinder a lot of work when we're stuck discussing one-on-ones with self-appointed allies?
Oh, basically, yeah, notorious racist SDL America. Yeah, I know, that's insane. I mean, you know, for whatever criticism you want to levy, you cannot say they're racist. That's fucking wild. Obviously, SDL messages were pretty spicy. They were pretty spicy. There's no doubt about that. But it was quite evident that the messages were, you know, extreme, absurdist, racist jokes. And again, it just feels like, again, we're pulling back to old drama. When did the SDL stuff happen? That was like in 2021 as well, wasn't it?
Lies?
Get your cheap ones in.
Me again. I felt the need to pop up to really and to understand the seriousness of the situation I'll be discussing next. I want to shut down the productive attitudes writing in all this drama, but these are real people's lives. It never should have escalated to the scale that it did. And honestly, that's really sad. The blatant trans misogyny is sad. The harassment, the dogpiling, and just all this coming from white activists. That's sad. Please listen to the perspective we haven't been given and understand these are real people's lives.
Here we go, guys. About to get serious. Guys, I reckon now we're actually going to start talking about something meaningful and not just stupid, petty internet drama acting like it's giga racist. I reckon it's going to get serious now. What say you? What do you reckon?
it's white people making these spaces.
Oh, God, it's this woman again. Oh, my God. Again. God, she's really getting a lot of mileage. Well, hang on. What's this person's thing? This person is certainly getting a lot of mileage out of this interview. Jesus Christ, we're cutting back to this. What? Who is this person anyway? Why are they the expert on all of this that we're talking to? What the actual fuck? Anyway, white hate crimes are higher than the Asian hate crimes, so maybe you should get me on to talk about it, eh?
No shot.
Thank you for the bits. Honestly, this is just like, Okay.
This is unsafe for us. And that's not us being insular. It's them refusing to learn or understand or otherwise like meaningfully engage with any anti-racist theory or any anti-racist like praxis. Racism is very serious and it can be extreme. White people should treat it seriously, but they have this like stereotypical idea of racism that for them, it's like a very high bar to meet, you know? They don't see that calling any black leftist a psyop. They don't understand why that's problematic because they only see the Klan hoods as a valid form of racism. They're not dealing with like the root cause of these oppressions. And it's kind of like why we keep going in this like endless circle, because we have to keep explaining to white people that yes, white supremacy is actually at the root of everything. It's at the root of misogyny. It's at the
Okay, this is yeah, it's just everything, basically. It's just everything. Everything is about white supremacy. Do these people ever talk about class? Do these so-called leftists ever mention fucking class? Maybe they're going to mention it now. I'm going to be Paul Zandied. But let's see.
The root of queerphobia. It's at the root of transphobia. It's at the root of ableism. Sometimes it feels like white people are just like being...
No, they're not going to mention class at all. Okay, brilliant. This is what I would refer to as this kind of identity reductionism, where these so-professed lefties like don't even think and talk about class in any aspect. Like, it's fundamental. It should be fundamental anyway. But who cares, man? Who cares about all that shit? Who cares about all that commie gobbledygook? All I care about is getting these fucking bars filled while I watch this absolutely dog shit video created by a bunch of fucking retards that don't know their arse from their elbow, that probably hopped up on fucking marijuana, sat bed blobbing right now, okay?
Being dense on purpose. It's like their God-given right to be dense and to keep us trapped in this cycle of explaining to white people that white supremacy is at the root of everything. Like, the white arrogance makes them come into these conversations where they're like, I'm the most right person, and if you tell me otherwise, I'm just gonna harass you because you're racist. And like, it's so, that arrogance means that they're not coming from a place of like wanting to learn and wanting to help and wanting to join the collective struggle. It's about wanting to feel like the most right person in the room. It's about...
People say morally lucky. These people aren't even moral. They're racist to the acceptable group. I mean, yeah.
Like wanting to learn and wanting to help and wanting to join the collective struggle. It's about wanting to feel like the most right person in the room. It's about their own personal grievances. But white people, they're coming into this brand new, but they're acting like they are the experts and they're the most right. And this whole debate culture, it exacerbates that problem 100%, because they have this like following, to have this fan base of people who hang on to your every word. They're not coming to this with an open mind. They're coming to this with okay, I'm here now, let's fix it.
Cat Black, a black trans content creator, is one of the pioneers of trans YouTube. I've been following Cat Black since I was a freshman in high school. In 2016 to 2018, she was targeted in a harassment campaign by the alt-right pipeline. Numerous bad faith videos were made that didn't engage at all with what Cat Black was saying in her videos. Last year's Women's History Month, she was intensely harassed by white leftists. Cat made the mistake of asking her community a very simple question. Without naming names, she asked her community that's largely trans if ironic misogyny is helpful to trans liberation. This led to Ian, aka Vaush, who made the ironic misogyny joke against J.K. Rowling, to jump into Kat's DMs. In that exchange, Vaush not only was a massive dick, but he also displayed an explosive amount of arrogance that only a cis white man would confidently display.
Okay, I remember covering this drama, and didn't Cat Black leak the fact that they'd had a sexual interaction, and leak some of the... Well, they didn't leak the DMs of the sexual interaction, to be fair, but like then she commented on his penis. I remember covering this, and it's like, I'm thinking, hang on a sec. I feel like you're missing a little bit out of this. I feel like you're painting a very one-sided picture here. Yeah, I remember there's a clip of me talking about punch lasagnas or something. Oh.
Display. Everything escalated fast when Vaush in his glory misrepresented his conversation with Kat, starting a wave of harassment that would only get worse with each day. In her attempt to shut down Vaush's lies and low digs, she
everything's white supremacy. Thank you for the bits. Keep giving me bits, and maybe you will do one day. Everything's white supremacy.
Rightfully released the DMs that showed how unhinged and self-important Ian is. At this point, Ian decided to escalate the situation even further, taking it to stream to weaponize his live audience. ContraPoints, who's one of the biggest video essayists in LeftTube, also fell victim to Vaush's stream. ContraPoints simply speaking up on his bad faith attacks led him to slick his fans on her. All this because 2 trans women told him that ironic misogyny isn't helpful to trans people. Many of the debate pros from Twitch...
I mean... Oh my god. Okay, fine, I'll do it. Thank you.
1K bits to ban that guy.
Fine, I'll do it. I'll do it. Thank you. Thank you. I think it's perfectly reasonable to be critical of someone's strategy or tactics. Like, if someone professes themselves to be a trans advocate, and that's what they want to present themselves as, ironic misogyny is probably... It's not a good idea because of the way that it's weaponized, right? So if you're a trans advocate, you probably need to keep your nose clean and stuff like that. You know, I know it sounds hypocritical coming from me, but the difference is I don't give a shit about the trans stuff and I don't care what happens to them. So I'm just like, you know, it doesn't matter, does it? But if you want to try and be, you know, a professed trans advocate, you probably do need to just be cautious in like the messaging you engage in. But the problem is you can say that and you can give that criticism. The ContraPoint stuff, yeah, Vaush was out of pocket to get the tweet up and go, oh yeah, you should go and fucking, what was it he said about the thing? About harassing ContraPoints or something? Like, there's definitely things that are shitty that Vaush did. But this person is presenting, in terms of the Cat Black stuff, a really one-sided version of events that act like Cat Black did nothing wrong. Maybe it's because she's black. I don't know. But to be honest with you, yeah. Cat Black did do some fucked up shit. But to be honest with you, it's so long ago, I can barely even remember what happened. I'm fairly certain that that was in 2021. I remember it was when I was in my old place. I covered that. I remember it vividly. Sat there at my old desk. No camera. Talking about it all.
And the racist queer community joined in on the dogpiling of Cat Black. Hunter Avalon being one of them who came with the biggest reach against Cat Black in his quest to gain clout. Hunter's first thought was to dig up an out-of-context tweet of Cat. It's very rich coming from him since he supposedly a reformed white supremacist. Tweet of Cat.
If I was an American fascist for years... Okay. Hunter Avalon wasn't an American fascist. Are you serious? If my 2 only choices in a conversation about black experiences were Candace Owens and some white dude who read a few books, I think Candace, a black woman, would have more to say. It depends what we're talking about, right? If I don't know. Like, Candace can speak on her own personal experience on what it's like to be a black person. You're only saying that because he raided you earlier. You were compromised and didn't disclose it. Yes, that's true. But yeah, I mean, you know, yeah. If I wanted to know what is the individual black experience like, go and speak to Candace Owens. But then Candace Owens is ideologically compromised massively, so that's going to impact the way that she presents that information. This is the problem with like the idea of this standpoint epistemology shit, is you're going to get something out of it. But if it's a broader conversation about black issues and some white guy has studied it in detail and knows all the facts and figures, then yeah, they're probably going to be a better person to speak to, you know, about that aspect. I don't know, man. Candace did used to be an SJW.
It's very rich coming from him since he's supposedly a reformed white supremacist.
Okay, apparently, okay. Reach confirmed. My position is not, and has never been, that we should always blindly believe someone because they're a marginalized minority. It's also never been that you couldn't possibly disagree with a person who's a marginalized minority. That'd be an incredibly stupid argument. Okay. I mean, you know, oh man. Oh God. Yeah, sure. Oh, this is like the standpoint. This is the online standpoint epistemology shit, right? It's not the actual real. I mean, I don't know about the academic shit, but yeah, people are going to recognize the downsides of it and know the downsides that speaking to one person about their own personal experiences or a group of people about that is going to be limited in what you're going to be able to learn from that. It just seems like wild to me that what? So we've got the white leftist industrial complex, and we're relitigating drama from 2022. Wait, maybe it was 2022. Maybe it was just before I moved. Okay. Well, anyway, nonetheless, my point still stands. It's like this is over a year ago now. Is there nothing more recent? Has nothing more recent happened that's racist?
Let alone the fact that he made a very viral right-wing racist transphobic video on Cat that got hundreds of thousands of views. So to see him not only join in on the dog pile, but to do so with the dog whistle as id pull is very ironic. While we're on White Leftos, I wanted to give Dreamleaf her Queer Clan Rally Award. Her outstanding continual racist attacks and misinformation on Cat Black takes a lot of commitment to
Dreamleaf is like some fucking Vaush orbiter or whatever, right? I don't even know if they make content. Like, they literally just tweet. I don't know. Like, yeah, they're like an annoying Vaush dick rider, but like, you were really gonna do a whole thing about the fucking clan award? I don't know, man.
Thousands of views. So to see him not only join in on the dog pile, but to do so with the dog whistle as id pull is very ironic. While we're on White Leftos, I wanted to give Dreamleaf her Queer Clan
I'm Cat Black. Candace Owen has a problem.
Rally Award. Her outstanding continual
White supremacy is when you disagree with Cat Black. White supremacy is very much alive in the white trans community. Lamau, she was the one who dumped the whole DM exchange where she was clearly the asshole, then wrote a 100-tweet thread and a novel and a blog about how much she totally doesn't care about him. I mean, Dreamleaf is correct there, if I recall correctly. How is that white supremacy? That's insane, man.
Your racist attacks and misinformation on Cat Black takes a
Vaush takes the misogynistic jokes too far. Cat and Contra were both right in their criticisms of him. Yes, Cat shouldn't have leaked shit about Vaush, and he shouldn't have made racist comments about Cat or encouraged his audience to harass ContraPoints. What racist comments, Lamau? Come on now. There was one... Oh, man. There was one comment that Vaush made that I think was a sexualized comment about Cat Black, and it referenced her race. But I'm fairly certain, not that it's an excuse, of course, but I'm fairly certain it happened after she talked about his dick, but I can't remember exactly because it was so long ago. I wouldn't put it past Vaush to make a racist comment, though. Come on now.
lot of commitment to constantly have cat in your mouth. Now let's hear Ian retell what happened from his perspective.
Well, I don't like the arguments a lot of people are using, you know? I'm okay with being criticized for the ironic misogyny, but a lot of people, I think, again, are doing that ceding ground to J.K. Rowling thing. So one of the people doing that was Cat Black on Twitter. I DM'd Cat Black saying that I disagreed with her and asked if she would be interested in...
Honestly, okay, one thing I hate about this is this like intellectualism. I mean, you know, it's the same kind of intellectualism with the N-word thing all those years ago now, where you make this effort to overly intellectualize just like some shitty joke, some misogynistic joke or something like that. Like, I don't think there's any rhyme or reason to it. It's just, you're just saying something misogynistic because it's funny. And leave it at that and move on. I don't think that necessarily criticizing it is ceding ground to J.K. Rowling. That sounds like insane to me.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Hey, yo! Thank
Fill
you.
the bars.
The 1337. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's been so long since I covered this. I cannot remember the intricacies of it. So who knows? Who knows what I think about it?
in hearing my explanation for my behavior. She like made comments about my penis unprompted, which again is very weird.
That is true.
Cat Black sexually harassed me. I'm really sorry. Just out of nowhere talking about a person's dick because you sexted them before and you're having a public falling out with them.
True.
To stand by the side of that person when everything that I've done here, every element of this particular drama has been...
That was a definite reverse the role situation. 100% that was a reverse the role situation. And if a man and a woman were having a very public feud and the guy, you know, referenced they'd had some sexual interaction and made a negative comment about the woman's genitals, right? All hell would break loose. But because it was a woman doing it to a man, it was considered more acceptable. That happened 100%.
Been escalated
yeah, I'll reset the
and
bars.
Instigated by other people. That's not an exaggeration. Yeah, Vaush, pretty much exactly what Cat states he's into. All right, are you guys ready for the mildest hot take in the universe? Okay. Super idpol, like, lefty black women who are, like, really condescending to white people in terms of their ability to engage in political discourse. Love fucking white dudes. It's the exact same reason that racist white guys all watch interracial porn to jerk off to. It's the exact same thing. It's identical. There's no difference. It's literally the exact same goddamn thing. It's
Based? I don't know about the exact same thing. Like, that's reductive to me. But I think he's got something of a point here. I think that's probably somewhat true. You do get these minority... You do get, like, these minority women that can be massive race baiters. And then you look and it's like, they got a white boyfriend. And you're like, interesting. I wonder what that's about. Probably comes from a similar place.
true. I'm sorry, guys. People who have like racist thoughts tend to like weirdly fetishize like interracial race shit for like probably reasons they should be more critical of. Like, is this not exactly like all of the woke scolds who would reply to ContraPoints and say stuff like, are you done invalidating the voices of trans women who have been hurt by your content? It's such a shitty, presumptuous...
Are you done being mad that some trans women disagree that being misogynistic is actually an intricate strategy for being our savior? I mean, I agree with ContraPoints in this take, right? It's like it's not just making a dumb misogynistic joke that you just go, yeah, that was just being a dickhead or whatever. It's got to be some intricate plot with which to destroy transphobia. But then, like, being misogynistic plays into the narratives that transphobes perpetuate, in that they claim it's a misogynistic movement. So, yeah. Probably want to be careful with that if you want to be a trans ally and advocate or whatever the fuck Vaush would think of himself as when it comes to trans people. This was over the Women Be Quiet challenge. Is that it? I like that JK tweet. It was funny. It's a funny tweet. It's a funny tweet. It's, you know, at the time it was a good meme. But I think if you're going to propose it's a strategically good move to do it from a, you know, advocacy perspective, yeah, that's the part I disagree with. But if it's just, oh, it's a funny misogynist, I was just having to go at women because I hate them type shit, yes. If only we were smart enough to see it at the bottom as well.
Woke scold kind of behavior because you're presupposing, yeah. The more of you are in the replies being like, that's not what's happening right here. Like, this is necessary, okay?
Retard alert, retard moment.
Changing your mind on this. I just think it's funny how he's talking shit so...
What, like... Listen, getting organic replies to your tweet isn't harassment. But then a streamer bringing up your tweet and going, you should go and reply to this, is like brigading or something, right? That's what it falls under. Something like that.
Here we are, lol. She really is mentally a teenage girl. Don't they say trans people go through a second puberty when they transition? Oh my god, I didn't even see this. Wait, she's genuinely retarded. I'm so sorry. Do you guys remember the DMs that we shared?
As you saw, he did everything to escalate the situation. He starts by using anti-white, which at this point is more than a dog whistle. His fetish comments were pulled completely out of his rear, especially when you know that Kat has discussed race play for years. Kat is so open in her content about her experiences of black trans women being fetishized. I haven't even spoken on him going after ContraPoints for simply calling out his ego. Trans people's lived experiences will always hold more weight than what some arrogant cis white man has to offer. And don't waste your time with the Blair White and Candace Owens strawmans. You don't even realize you weaponize them against black people just as much as white supremacists. Now to these important next clips.
It's real bad. You guys saying that she leaked the sex, which by the way, I saw large content creators repeating the fact that she leaked the sex.
Revealing intimate conversations and publicly trying to demean and humiliate someone about their genitals is so nasty and manipulative. It genuinely shocks me some people took it with such nonchalance. Like, that's actually, like, why is this Soulbunni person not recognizing that, or even like offering some semblance of a criticism of that behavior? Maybe they're going to mention it now, they're bringing it up perhaps, but it's just kind of like, maybe I'm going to get Paul Zandied. But yeah, that was pretty fucked up to do, right?
Which never happened. That did not ever happen. No sexts were ever leaked by anyone. All that Cat Black ever did was say that the greatest extent that they ever engaged was to sext a few years ago.
Wait, hang on a second. So, okay, I think I know what this person's doing. They're playing this audio clip to say, look, this is debunking these claims. But the claim wasn't that the DMs were leaked. Maybe some people thought that, sure. But the criticism was that Cat Black publicly spoke about it. And on top of that, was made a racialized comment about Vaush's penis. That is what the critique was. So this is just, like, unless they say what it was and it was bad. Yeah, this is very disingenuous, but we'll see.
You guys have been spreading that lie all the fuck over the place. And honestly, that...
Wait, did the tweet say that?
You don't even next clip.
Sects, which by the way, I saw...
No matter what you think of Vaush and Cat... Vaush, what... No matter what you think of Vaush, what Cat did the other day was 100% sexual harassment. It's just plain gross. I always speak highly of Cat, especially with her talks on sex and consent, which makes it even more sad. Revealing intimate conversations and publicly trying to demean and humiliate someone about their genitals is so nasty and manipulative. Okay, I don't think that Shark Zero here is saying that they revealing intimate conversations as in they leaked the DMs. I think what they mean is revealing the fact they had an intimate conversation. So whilst there were probably people that said that they leaked DMs, I don't think that this tweet is saying that. They're saying that they revealed the fact that they publicly had an intimate conversation. Does anyone disagree with that? That seems to be what this tweet's saying, right? Am I insane? Probably trying to demean and humiliate someone about the genitals so manipulative. James Josh people took it with such nonchalance. Yeah, look. It says, it clarifies in the next DM as well. Look. If I had a falling out with a female streamer and I talked about how we sent lewd texts, he's making it clear that that's what he's referring to. Cat Black talking about sending lewd texts, not actually leaking the DMs, which is what Demon Mum was talking about. This is literal retardation moment and total dishonesty from this stupid bin fucking Soulbunni, or what the fuck their name is. And I talked about how we sent lewd texts and she had weird tits, just apropos of nothing. I hope you will tear me apart. That is so childish, weird and sexual harassment.
Large content creators repeating the fact that she leaked the sects, which never happened. That did not ever happen. No sects were ever leaked by anyone.
DM has never had an honest moment in... Okay. Does DM go by it? I don't know. But anyway, I don't know if Demon Mum is talking about Shark 30. Zero. I don't know who Demon Mum was talking about, but this Soulbunni person has juxtaposed the commentary with the messages. But Demon Mum might not even be talking about this. And in these messages, Shark 30 is not talking about leaking DMs. Shark 30 is talking about Cat Black referencing the fact that they'd sexted.
All that Cat Black ever did was say that the greatest extent that they ever engaged...
Right, is it here? No matter what you think of... Okay, this is a tweet we've already read. Did she not reveal such a thing until after Vaush on stream accused her of having a white fetish? I don't tend to support retaliatory tactics, which is why I don't like Vaush, mind you, but that point does seem lost in the overall discourse. What he said, I think, was a low blow, but she responded by going even lower. I think that's just fucked, honestly. Neither of them came out looking particularly good from all this. But I feel like Cat leaking sex. Okay, so Claudia Brown has got the wrong end of the stick here and is getting this wrong. But I feel like Cat leaking sexts and insulting his dick just undermines all her stuff on consent. I don't think Claudia Brown even makes content anymore. And this is a tweet with 8 likes without much engagement. So where's these big creators that are perpetuating this?
Was to sext a few years ago. You guys have been spreading that lie all the fuck over the place. And
so we've got one example of one person on an 8-like tweet spreading this lie. Where's the rest of it?
honestly, that's fucking shit. Just fucking misinfo. And it is, I'm seeing it now, by the way, people perpetuating this. And this is how you start to build up a cancellation profile for someone who didn't even do the things you're accusing of them.
First of all, F you Shark for being another black man complicit in some racist transphobic bull against a black trans woman. You're really giving leftist Candace Owens vibes. You were so mask off with your bad faith attacks on Cat Black. Shark was the first content creator to push this misinformation that debate bros till this day still latch onto. The hordes of racist white queer people that ran with this to attempt to silence Cat, and anyone calling out the bold trans misogynoir. Shark gained a lot of clout and profited off of the attacks. Black trans people don't have to accept contradictory allyship from cis black men, throwing black trans people to the wolves that are debate bros.
Honestly, every angle you get is like some stack of fucking identity. Black cis man, trans black, but it's just, I couldn't imagine having to live my life like this. Well, I don't, because I'm white and I don't have to write any of this bullshit. Totally irrelevant. I can go at my flat, okay? I can go for a walk. None of this fucking matters. It's amazing and I love it. I love being white. It's amazing. But I just cannot imagine having to live in a world like this, where you're so trapped in these endless assessments of what one's identity is. It's wild. And, you know, let's just say that there's a couple of other groups. Let's just say that there's a couple of other groups that like to focus on race, isn't there? Let's be real for a second. Oh. Oh.
Bros. Cat wasn't the first or the last trans person he's gone after. The clout and access he gained after strategically going after Professor Flowers was the first time I sensed coon vibes from him. At the moment, strategically going after Professor Flowers was the first time I sensed coon vibes from him.
Okay. We're just being straight up full on racist now. Good to know. Good to know. Excellent. Excellent. There we go. So just blatant explicit racism in some BreadTube video is now acceptable. Okay. More so than we've seen already. But obviously against the whites, I'm not going to say it, but you know.
At the moment, he lacks any contrition for the hate he pushed. I don't have time to deal with Uncle Ruckus Jr. when my black
dude, what the fuck? That is insane. Let her cook. Oh
black and brown trans siblings are lacking resources, support, dying, and being murdered. There's a lesson from this that I want leftists and especially Corn BreadTube to understand. To have allyship with black trans folks is so much more than publicly stating your support. To be intersectional with us, you need to include us in your dialogue. You'll need to share your
I do not support black, trans, disabled weirdos, okay? I don't support any of it. It's all a load of bullshit to me, okay? Stay away from my kids, right? Stay over there. Go and do your weird shit over there. Don't care anymore. Not interested, okay? I'm past it now. It's too late. It's too late now. I'm done with it, okay? As my platform continues to go forward, I am only going to repeat this message. I'm not an ally. I don't care about your struggles. I don't care what happens to you, okay? Literally irrelevant to me. I'm going to end my stream. I'm going to go wander the streets of my local neighborhood as a white person with no problems, and it's going to be great.
Platforms to help push nuanced discussions. Learn what trans misogynoir is, which I discussed in my video Transphobia and Transmisogynoir. Now back to this capacity.
I will not move from my positions because I am right and confident in that rightness. And I have not, nor will I ever cede ground to bad arguments because they're being offered by people with different lived experiences than me. We will be mass banning people from my subreddit who take any position other than the correct one. Which is mine. Also from my chat.
Oh, Mr. Go, come on, time to write another article.
And from my Discord. There were a lot of people here in my community and chat who were defending Contra throughout all this, but Contra never actually posed an argument to me in public.
Oh my god!
What am I
Come
supposed to take from
on.
that? Don't you think the whole "I'm right"?
I mean, I don't know when this is from exactly, but like Contra was clearly saying, it's cringe and lame to propose that your joke about misogyny was some sort of 5D chess move, right?
Your wrong mentality encourages this kind of behavior? No, never cede into the abusers. They want you to think that being confident is what they have a problem with. They want you to believe, oh, things would be so much better if only you were weaker and more susceptible to peer pressure. I will never cede anything for the sake of optics with these fucking people, okay? Never in my life. I will tear this entire goddamn community to the ground before I cede even the slightest point for the sake of getting them off my back. I do not care. I will never care. I'm building my nest egg, all right? I'll do this shit for as long as I can. I will never in my life back off. And if more people were like me, the left would have won the online space years ago.
After watching that, aren't you eager to give him the most helpful trans ally award? If bad media literacy was clips, it would be these. Strictly only be in a community with trans people that agree with you, as this person says it all. This is exactly what creates insular spaces where white supremacy in the queer community can grow. He purged away the remaining intersectional trans people in a space and built walls like the arrogant, entitled white boy he is. To be this explosive—
I mean, listen, obviously I don't agree with all the identity shit. But like, isn't he like on a Fortress arc? Isn't he on a Fortress arc now? Maybe he's got a point.
over being corrected is what BIPOC leftists fear in shared spaces.
The cognitive dissonance is white supremacy, like, let's be real. But that weird—
Oh god, it's her again! God, I thought we'd escaped from the the Asian woman white noodle thing, but no, apparently not.
cognitive dissonance, like, it was a bit surprising. You know, like, and this is my real life, you know, like, these are my, like, lived experiences. Whereas these, like, white leftists are just, like, they're just doing Discord. They're just shitposting. They're just trying to get content for their streams or whatever, and they're trying to do this, like, reactionary grifting, like a lot of people on the right do. Like,
I am correct.
like, the fact
I am
that
on the
so
right.
many white leftists also had the same reaction as so many right-wing douchebags kind of speaks volumes, you know?
Okay, this is like the... Is it everyone else has got a point? No. They're wrong, I'm right. Oh my god. I can't believe I've watched this whole thing. I think, listen... I think I've done quite well to consume this whole video, which is, you know, absolute fucking dog shit garbage, race baiting nonsense. Also, it's like mainly just relitigating old drama from a year ago. Like, I don't know. What would those people do if Red Dawn comes to pass? I mean, you know, they'd become a statistic probably.
Like, even white people who are, like, marginalized by class or by disability or by sexuality,
Oh, you should
they
mention
still
class.
had the same reactions as, like, Jesse Single. And what does that say about whiteness? What does that say about so-called white progressives?
This final mask-off conversation I'll show you is of Ian talking to Andrewism. It is—
Okay, I wasn't going to watch it, but then Boots linked it and I was like, okay, I'll give it a go. And here we are.
rich in examples of being out of touch and struggling with allyship 101s.
The problem is, the language that I used was inclusionary, and the language that she used was exclusionary, which is the reason why I was critical. My message wasn't...
Exclusionary in what way?
Yeah, people hate Jesse Single because he's critical of the trans kid stuff. Jesse Single is totally fine, by the way. He's just a journalist who's got an interest in covering the transition shit. But everyone calls him transphobic because of that. It's total bullshit.
So she literally says, do not talk to me about police, white people, until you've done X. I can't imagine...
She said, please don't speak to me about police in the context of what the guy said. She was speaking directly to somebody. She had quote tweeted somebody.
Oh my god. No, Boots, listen, I'm not complaining. You did great. I appreciate you. This is going to be good YouTube content for sure. Revolution requires unity. I can acknowledge your struggle without claiming it as my own. I can educate myself and speak truth to others. I learned so much from you. The capitalist police, the state, is our common enemy. I know it's different, but let us help. Why are white leftists more eager to unify with racialized communities and organize your own people first? Unity with black people is meaningless as long as the masses of white people are indoctrinated into white supremacy and liberalism. Please don't speak to me about the police. Okay. I agree. Sounds like we need to separate ourselves to deal with our own issues before we come to you. We need to have a little bit of a separation. We need to, in our own little box. Okay? How about Scott Adams? What was it Scott Adams said?
So the please don't speak about police is specific to that tweet. But the first sentence, why white leftists more eager to unify with racialized communities than organize your own people first. Second sentence, unity with black people is meaningless as long as the masses of white people are indoctrinated into white supremacy and liberalism. Now, in the original stream, you are taking issue with the phrase your own people. Do you still have issue with that phrase?
Yeah. Why are we racializing this?
Because you can't ignore race in America of all places.
No, if you have a problem with a take, you don't need to say, why are these white people giving a bad take? You don't need to say white people aren't doing enough. If you have an issue with a take,
pointing out a general trend in the organization patterns of.
Oh, they're pointing out a general trend. Oh, okay. I see. So is it okay to point out trends now, is it? Because I've got a couple of trends that I could talk about if you wanted me to. But
right,
wait, man.
Essentializing.
Lack of organizing patterns. It's not essentializing.
Then why did black people overwhelmingly vote for Biden instead of Bernie? Maybe you guys need to do more radicalization within your own community first? How much is X or Y doing? Like, why aren't white people doing enough? Why not use positive language that includes people? White people have a power that black people don't.
Because you don't need to coddle people.
Oh, see, now we're getting to it. Using inclusionary language is coddling. Anti-revolutionary rhetoric. This is counter-revolutionary from No Name. The original tweet is saying, hey, workers of America, we need to rise up together and recognize that petty racial infighting is not the way to solve our problems. We need to work together against the collective institutions that oppress us.
You have a weird way of perceiving these sort of things, but let me scale back a bit.
If you were a random white kid and you saw this tweet, like you realize...
We're not talking about random white kids, Vaush.
Random white kids are future revolutionaries. White Boy Summer is a revolutionary's haven, okay? We need those random white kids. And they see a tweet like this.
Actually, Tankicus, that's a really good point, right? That's actually a really good point, right? When you try and turn a white people into socialists as a white person, Twitter idiots will call you a Nazi. There's no winning with these idiots. That's actually really true. They'll say stuff like this, but then if you like want to try and talk to people, you know, that aren't currently on the left or aren't, you know, you want to talk to like a MAGA person or something like that, then you're doing something wrong because you're associating with somebody who's racist. We knew it would be a white boy summer. Yeah, no, that's very true. You literally can't win. The best thing to do, honestly, and I know I'm covering the video, but if you're like a political person more so, just ignore them. These people have got nothing. Like they're going to die out. Okay, there's going to be a great event and they're going to die out. As in, the pendulum's swinging. There's a lot more support for the rightoid stuff at the moment. They're probably not going to have the ability and the intellect with which to actually improve their arguments and positions. Thank you for the sub. They've spent all their time completely avoiding talking to people that don't agree with them, you know, ostracizing them, calling this, calling them that. When the time comes, they're going to be screwed. And they are screwed already. You know, this type of sentiment might have been popular a couple of years ago on the internet. But now, times have changed. And I just don't think you're going to have broad support for this kind of mentality and this sort of perspective of this video. Yeah.
What do they think? How can you recruit new people if you don't care what normies think about our movement? How can we recruit new people if we don't care about what randoms think about our messaging? We need to know. We need to be appealing to them as much as possible. We should be having bake sales to get these fuckers in our doors. There are people who are going to say that I'm tone policing, but that it's okay to tone police massive public figures when they're giving political messaging. That's an okay time to tone police, actually. Optics is very important when it comes to bringing over new people. I don't think we're ever going to agree on that. And even if they never fully unlearn it and they're still like a little bit racist, what would you rather have? A slightly racist white kid who wants a proletarian revolution, or a slightly racist white kid with a Back the Blue sticker on the back of his fucking Ford Focus, you know? I know that I would rather have them on the left. And maybe they're irritating and other black people on the online left don't want to be around them. That's cool. They don't have to. It's not a social club. They can stay in some other portion of the left where people are more tolerant of that type of behavior. You know?
And who do you think is going to create that path? Who do you think should create that path? Who do you think should be putting in that difficult work to build that path?
Well, I do it better than pretty much anyone else, I think. So I'd say me. Yeah, I think other white people can use their privilege to try to access those communities.
Which is No Name's point.
No Name was basically telling white people to sweep their own porch before coming to pick apart black people's advocacy, being that white Americans have yet to tangibly reckon with their whiteness. They still at large are struggling to push anti-racist efforts within their own spaces. It took an entire hour for Ian to finally understand the No Name tweet, only to gaslight his way out of reflecting, purposely refusing to understand since his whole argument he relied on would crumble, placing more importance in personally feeling right than truly understanding what Andrewism and No Name are conveying. The idea that black people at the tone police our intersectional leftist spaces, for some likely still racist white boys to feel welcome, is quite literally counterproductive. The only people that need to be doing bake sales and going door to door are other white people. The Black Panther Party and MLK were largely unpopular, yet they made so much progress. Progress that was made without the majority of white Americans and normies.
Okay, that is complete bullshit and ahistorical what they just said there. That isn't true at all. What fucking planet is this person on? What? Also, the idea that these disgusting online freaks who are worth nothing, the idea they're comparing themselves to the Black Panthers and MLK is fucking insane. And it is this like level of self-pretension that I just find just gross. But yeah. Hey, Loner Box. A million of these videos and none have been called The Unbearable Whiteness of BreadTube. Come on up the game. You're going to watch this. You'll love it. By the way, Loner Box, are you white? Do you consider yourself to be white? Because you get called white in this at the start. You're listed off as... But then they also list, you know... Okay. I wasn't sure. Depends on who I'm fighting with. So I'll be able to clock you straight away, mate, okay? I wouldn't do anything about it, obviously, you know. I wouldn't be, like, racist or anything, but...
Moving forward, we should stop engaging and going back and forth with bigots that dig their heels in. That time could be better spent uplifting and helping build intersectional leftist creators, especially Cornbread Tube. Watch more women of color, queer, and trans content creators. Together we can encourage a healthy space welcoming more diverse voices, where tone policing isn't the norm, nuance encouraged, and our lived experience aren't dismissed. Let's together walk into this new leftist era where truly intersectionality is the norm.
Okay, this person is literally... This is Giga Cope. It's fucking over. It's never been more over for your little shitty, race-obsessed, identity politics bullshit movement. It's so over. It's so over, it's unreal. And they don't realize it yet.
With that said, I wish you endurance as we push through more anti-trans and CRT bills. Special thanks to Kayleen, my interview Rosalind, and Aaron for making my thumbnail. If you want to help me create more black trans focused content, you're able to support me on 2 other platforms. I have Patreon, where you can see exclusive content and behind the scenes clips. You also can support me on Ko-fi, where you can find my art prints and original paintings that I sell locally.
There we go. Yeah, Bad Bunny's in there, of course. Is that it? Is it over? Yes, over, I think. It's all over. Need to get shilling on that one. Maybe your Patreon's not doing so well because of the whites as well. I don't know, but there we go. Anyway, what do you reckon? Who liked that video? Picture's pretty good. I'll give that. Man, this video really sold me on leftism. Where do I sign up? Look, I'm going to be honest with you as a white person, right? The idea that I can get involved in this movement...
that's wonderful. But how do I
Well, I'm
make
going to be treated like
money
absolute
off depressed
shit
people?
is based. I've got two choices. I can get involved in this community where I'll get treated like absolute shit because of the colour of my skin. Or I can just go outside, okay, with people that are probably more racist, to be honest with you, and not get any problems at all. I think I'll do that, thanks. I think I'll do that. Usually I like racist videos, but for some reason this one rubbed me up the wrong way. True. Anyway, yeah, obviously dog shit video. But hey, these people are irrelevant morons who aren't going to do anything. They've got no meaningful political power. They're never going to get meaningful political power. So you don't need to worry about it. Just laugh and mock them. That's my advice.